In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can prepare for PT at home. I'll tell you the exact steps you have to go through so that you can cover every important thing and prepare for this exam effectively. If you're planning to prepare for PT at home, the first thing you have to make sure is you have a dedicated space at your home where you can study without any interruption. This is quite important to stay focused in the task and to retain more information while you are studying. Not just that, you also have to make sure that you have a routine, you have a schedule for your study so that you can become consistent. It's better to study maybe 2 hours every day than to study 10 hours in one day. If your plan is to improve your score by around 10 points, you will need around 4 to 6 weeks of preparation time. Therefore, make sure that you have adequate preparation time before booking the test. Otherwise, you'll not be able to get the score you're looking for. Also keep in mind that the time frame I have given here is based on a general pattern of students' practice and study. However, you may study in a different way. Maybe you are more intelligent than others. Maybe you need more time to understand information. You always have to keep these things in mind when you are trying to decide when to book the exam and how much time you need. If you find it difficult to assess it yourself, then you can get in touch with us so that we can tell you how much time you may need based on your performance level as well as your basic English language skill. The next important thing is, just like for any other exam, before you start your exam preparation, you first need to know the format of the exam, which means what kind of questions are asked in the exam, how many types of questions are asked in the exam, what kind of skills you need to answer those questions, how long you have to sit in the exam, and so on. So make sure that you know about these things. You can go through the videos in our channel where I have discussed all of this information. Otherwise, you can also go to our website where you will find all the relevant information about the exam structure. Along with the exam structure, you should also know the scoring criteria and the score distribution. So these are two different things. Scoring criteria means you have to know how you get points for each question type, or in other words, how you are evaluated for each question type. Score distribution, on the other hand, means how your score from one question is distributed across different sections. Because in PT, many question types contribute to more than one skill at the same time. As an example, in retail lecture question, you are assessed on the basis of your content, your fluency, and pronunciation. So this is scoring criteria or evaluation criteria. But the score you get from retail lecture is distributed across speaking and listening, which is score distribution. You have to know both of these things so that you can decide which question is important and you should be spending more time on, and which questions are less important and you should be spending less time on. Once you know about these things, like the structure of the exam and scoring criteria and distribution, the next thing for you to do is to acquire the skills so that you can answer the questions. So you need some basic skills to do better in your test. These basic skills consist of your spelling skill, your vocabulary skill, your grammar skill, and your pronunciation skill. So as you can see on the screen right now, there are some word lists that you have to go through. And you can download all of these word lists from our website for completely free. Go through this word list. Make sure that you know all the information given in this list. You know meaning of all of these words. You know how to spell these words. You know how to pronounce these words. And also learn some basic grammar skills. Specifically speaking, you need 2 important topics of grammar to master, and these are parts of speech and conjunctions. These 2 topics of grammar are assessed more frequently than any other topics in your test. So make sure you know these things before you sit in the exam. So the next important thing for you to do now is to start your study. So how you do that is you learn the strategies to answer different types of questions. You memorize the templates for questions where you can use pre-made templates to answer the question. Also, you can attend our question and answer session, which I regularly do on our Facebook group. If you have not already joined this group, join it now so that you can ask me questions. Other than just talking about different question types of PT, I also do scorecard review here and give some tips to students who are preparing for the test. If you are one of the paid members of our website, you can also attend live classes every day where you can interact with the tutors and ask any questions you have about the test. The next step after study is practice. During your practice, make sure that you know which questions are important so that you spend more time on those questions. In my case, I have divided questions into 3 categories: highly important questions, a not so important question. If possible, try to start your practice from highly important questions and make sure that you can answer any question in this category without any issue. Then you can move to important questions, and lastly, you can try not so important questions. Some students just practice questions and never do mock test. This is not a good strategy. After completing your study and practice, you should find out how much you have learned and how much score you would get if you go to the exam right now. In order to do that, you have to do mock tests. Just make sure that you are doing mock tests from those resources where you also get feedback from real tutors, not just from artificial intelligence. Because many of the platforms which use this so-called artificial intelligence actually do not provide you an accurate assessment of your skills. So you may have a false sense of confidence, or you may simply feel desolated because of the low score you get after doing the test. It's important that you get an accurate assessment with feedback so that you know not just your level, but also what to do to improve your level. Preparing for this test can be really exhausting, so don't forget to take breaks. You should go out and meet people, meet your friends if it is allowed in your area. Especially during this time, there are restrictions in many places, so it may not be possible, but try your best to re-energize yourself after a long stretch of your study. And at the end, get help. Speak with your friends who have already appeared in the test. Ask for their advice. Join discussion groups. Share your problems. Ask for help from others. And if you want, you can also ask us. We are more than happy to answer your questions and help you through this process. Now, this is what you have to do if you are planning to prepare for PT from home. If you want me to explain any of the points I mentioned in this video further, just let me know in the comments and I'll do another video about that. And if you have any specific questions, then join our Facebook group, post your problems, and I'll try to answer them. Until my next video, stay safe and keep practicing. All the best for your exam.